Swing and a drive, well hit to left. Back goes Baton. She is gone. Do you believe this? The Mets have done it again. They take the lead. Mark Canha with his arms raised over his head.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shea Station podcast. It is Monday, August 22nd. The Mets have just taken 3 of 4 in their final series against the Philadelphia Phillies. And guess what? We're not on Zoom. It's a big one. We're in person. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jack, aka Jolly Olive. We got a substitute producer, the lovely, handsome Rob of Chris Rose Rotation in Baseball Today. And of course, joining me in person is my co-host, Jerry Blevins.
Oh, it's so nice to be in the office. I apologize to anybody that's confused or upset that we're on the other side of the screen. We seem to get a lot of flack when we do that, but I'm so happy to be here.
It's great to have you.
It's so warm and welcoming when I come in. It's so fun.
It's weird to say that it's warm because this office or this studio is notorious for becoming freezing cold. It's actually not that bad right now.
I'm used to this. Here's a little insider secret to our pre and post game. Gary Apple loves the studio to be like sub-Arctic temperatures.
I don't
because the lights get a little hot.
Okay.
And yeah,
I mean, you guys are suited up. I get it. It makes sense.
Yep. And so, you know, he likes it. So I'm used to working in the extreme cold.
Yeah, we got Jerry here. He's doing pre and post for SNY. I'm sure you've heard of that TV network if you're a Mets fan. And we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. The Mets played a pretty electric series. They finished their road trip 4-4 when they went to Atlanta and Philadelphia. We got a lot to talk about, including the very eventful Game 4. I just want to quickly thank our first sponsor of the day, of 3, by the way. We got it loaded today.
Don't worry about that.
And it's a new one.
Big deal.
I'm excited about this one. Stadium Map Art. This is actually a company that I've ordered from before. The perfect gift for anyone in your life with Stadium Map Art. They push laser engraving to the limit, creating detailed wooden 3D stadium coasters, maps, and magnets. You can get one to Citi Field. It probably will look really good. Over 150 stadiums to choose from and counting. Great for living rooms, fan caves, and sports bars everywhere. Do you have a man cave in your basement, Jerry? Do you have like a little area?
Yes, I do.
I mean, we should get you some Stadium Map Art then.
Yeah, I'm for it.
I mean, you know, A's Coliseum, Citi Field, Nats Park.
I think I've played at too many places for them to fit.
Not Dodger Stadium, right? You wouldn't want that one.
I don't. I like the stadium. I don't.
It's a good stadium.
I don't play well there.
Great sound system. Now they can imagine themselves at the stadium of their favorite team while also enjoying a drink at home. Over 10,000 coasters have been shipped by this company so far. So if you are the worst gift giver, this is a perfect place for you. Find the perfect gift for the sports fan in your life. 3D stadium coasters, maps, and magnets handcrafted and laser engraved in the USA by Stadium Map Art. Find your team stadium at stadiummapart.com and use Shea15 to get $15 off your next order over $50. That's Shea15 at stadiummapart.com/pages/Jomboy. Go check them out. They are awesome. And thank you to them for sponsoring today's Shea Station.
Thank you.
Sweet.
That's exciting.
Jerry, I think we dive right in.
Let's dive right in. We're gonna do some recap. This was a very heavy feeling series. It had a lot of ups and downs.
I agree.
You know, there were some games that were like, bleh, and then there were some real intense games.
Yeah, for once, I kind of have like the stinker of the series.
Well,
Usually that belongs
you're welcome.
to you. And sir, we got to
see how it feels.
Eventually. Rob, hit the music, baby. Like it.
Oh, it
all right,
so good.
Game 1. The Mets arrive in Philadelphia. They are tired from their 4-game set against the Phils, but they show up to play. Nimmo and Lindor both reach on singles in the first off Aaron Nola. Bohm boots the Alonso double play ball, allowing the first run to score, and the Mets keep it on going from there. A 3-spot on Nola in the 3rd inning. Marte doubles, then he comes around on Pete's mammoth 2-run homer. I don't know where the music went, but I'm going to keep going. We're powering through. Vogelback doubles, and then McNeil singles him home for the 4-0 lead. We're going to roll on. Mets get runners on the corners with a Marte double and a Lindor single in the 5th inning, and they pull off a successful double steal against the asleep Phillies defense. That makes it 5-0 Metsy. The music is back now. Phillies score 2 on Schwarber's 2-run single in the bottom of the 5th, and all along the way, Chris Bassett was pitching a pretty good game, albeit with 7 hits allowed. He only allows 2 earned runs in 6 innings, no walks on 104 pitches. That ERA goes down to 3.26 on the year. Bassett strands runners on second and third with a ground out to end the second. The Phillies got runners on the corners with one out, but they failed to score in the fourth inning. It was a night of weaving in and out of trouble for Chris Bassett, and he gave them the innings that they needed because this Mets bullpen has been pitching a lot lately. The Mets loaded the bases in the seventh with a Lindor single and a pair of walks, and with 2 outs, young Brett Beatty comes through with a clutch 2-run single. Tough series for him, but this was a nice highlight, and then the bullpen took care of things. Ottavino, Joely Rodriguez, and Trevor May sealed the game with 3 shutout innings. Joely and May retired the final 7 batters in order. The Mets offense wakes up after kind of a tough series in Atlanta. They score 7 runs. Marte gets 2 doubles and 2 steals, multi-hit games for Lindor and Alonso, but Tyler Naquin with a tough night goes 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, but the Mets do win game 1, 7-2.
Good W. Alonso continues to dominate Aaron Nola, which was awesome. Naquin has a tough day.
Yeah, tough
That was hard for me to watch, but that was a huge win coming off what was an upsetting.
We're all good, Rob.
What was an upsetting series in Atlanta?
Yeah.
They show up, could have been an easy rollover because they're going Nola Wheeler, and they stepped up. They do what they've always done, and don't allow momentum to go too far the other direction.
Right, and they've hit Nola pretty well this year. Alonso had 4 homers against him in his career going into this one, and it was nice to see the offense show up because they did have a really tough time against Max Fried, who looked really good the night before. Working on little rest, these guys. Tough. That 7 p.m. road game into the next one.
This whole series, we talked about it. Like they had the doubleheader that we'll get to.
Yep.
Then they had the long day yesterday. Game 4 was really long, and they played a night game getaway day in Atlanta. So that was a whole thing. But we are on to game 2.
Yeah.
Trevor Williams versus Zach Wheeler. They traded zeros through the first 4 innings. Trevor Williams pitched great. Looked exceptional. He's done what he's done all year, become a jackknife when we need him. He went 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 Ks on 71 pitches. He drops his season ERA down to 2.84. The Phillies stranded runners in the first after they get 2 out singles back-to-back. And then the Mets strand a couple of their own after a double steal in the fourth to end Trevor Williams' day. Wheeler allows just 1 hit, 1 walk through the first 4 innings. But in the 5th inning, after McNeil singles and a Naquin walk, Michael Perez has his first hit as a Met and is a 2-run single. A great piece of hitting. The Mets grab 2 more runs and knock out Wheeler before he finishes 6 innings. Marte walks and scores on Lindor's triple. Lindor scores after Vogie's walk, and McNeil has his second hit, an RBI single. Lugo, Joely, and Ottavino combined for 4 innings and just one earned run. Joely has allowed 1 earned run in 9 1/3 innings. In August, he has been stellar. Mets batter Nick Nelson for 4 key insurance runs in the 9th. Brett Beatty gets hit by a pitch. Perez walks, setting up RBI double for Brandon Nimmo. Starling Marte follows up with an RBI single to score Perez. Alonso walks, and Ruff smacks a nice sacrifice fly. McNeil adds another RBI single to make it an 8-1 ball game. Sam Clay makes his Mets debut by sealing a victory while allowing an unearned run. Brett Beatty, Yolmer Sanchez make consecutive errors to extend the game. Felt like a little bit of a letdown at the end. Are they going to collapse? But they don't. The Mets go 6 for 14 with runners in scoring position. The staff allows 7 hits and 3 walks, but only 2 runs. The Mets win 8-2.
I want to give some love for Jerry, who normally, because he's over Zoom, doesn't get to hear the fun recap music.
I know, and it's very good.
You were riding the wave.
I was.
A little bit of rhythm going.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that for you. Yeah, big game 2 to win the first game of it. Trevor Williams versus Zach Wheeler, and we take that one anyway. The Mets go 9-0 versus Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler this year.
That's wild. And kind of out of character. Zach Wheeler comes on and says some cheap hits and weak contact. I made my pitches. Yeah. I was like, oh, Zach.
I was a little hurt.
I wasn't hurt. I understand the feeling, but that's what McNeil does.
I know.
You know what I mean? I think there was some bitterness held up because he knows that he hasn't had success against the Mets. Yeah. If you take out the Mets, I think he's one of the front runners for the Cy Young, but we've ruined his numbers.
I think so. He had 4 starts going into his meetings with the Mets, 27 innings, 5 earned runs. That's a 1.67.
He was so sharp,
yeah,
and then he kind of lost it because he he made a couple of mistakes, and they capitalized on it. I think the Perez hit. That was like a signature moment, man. I've been super impressed with him. He's handled the pitching staff great.
Yep.
He's thrown really well, and he looks good at the plate. A left-handed swing, gotta love it.
A lot of great at-bats from him. Drew a lot of walks
That
this
was
series, which I liked.
Great first hit as a Met.
Off Zach Wheeler. That's
I
a tough
know,
thing
it gave
to
us
do.
the lead. That was wonderful.
Yeah, and Wheeler was hot coming into facing us, and then 2 starts in a row. Goes 11 innings, 10 earned runs. Mets beat him both times. And this is, the guy that looked absolutely invincible against us last year, threw the shutout against us to kind of put Philly into first place and kick us out for the rest of the season. And this year, it's just been a completely different story. I feel like the Mets' game plan against him has been so much better. Obviously, the game plan against everybody is work deep counts, make the pitcher throw as much as you can. And, clearly, it annoyed him a little bit.
Yeah, to come out against, after the losing 3 or 4 to the Braves, to get to Nola and Wheeler back-to-back, that shows a lot of who this team is, the character. They fight, man. They don't give up. They don't care what happened yesterday. They don't care who they're matching up against. They're going to play baseball, and they're going to try to win every day. And they think they can win every day, and they kind of can.
Yeah. So the Mets take the first 2 games, the ones that the Phillies were probably supposed to win, and then they go loogie versus loogie for Game 3. Hit it, Rob. Bailey Falter and David Peterson square off in the nightcap of the doubleheader. These Mets are exhausted, but they're playing on anyway. And they score early, thanks to a messy first inning from Bailey Falter. Marte is hit by a pitch and is subsequently caught stealing. Would end up being kind of big, because later on, Lindor singles, and then he walks from Alonso and Ruff, bring on a run-scoring wild pitch from Falter, so the Mets go up 1-0. But David Peterson did not have his best stuff. The end result was honestly not that bad. 4 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs. That puts you in a position to compete in the game. But 8 hits and 2 walks along the way, so 10 base runners in 5 innings. No homers on 100 pitches. His ERA goes up to 3.44. It was a night of weaving in and out of trouble for David Peterson. Schwarber's double set up a Real Muto game-tying single in the first. Alec Boehm ripped a two-run double in the 3rd inning. The Phillies led off with consecutive singles in the 4th, then they loaded the bases in the 5th with a double, walk, and a single. Steven Nagosic, our old friend with a mustache, he's back with the big league club. He got out of that jam. The Phillies loaded the bases again in the 6th on a drop third strike, a walk, and a Brett Beatty error. We saw a lot of messy defense. Hopefully that, some experience helps Brett Beatty out there a little bit. But Jeff McNeil, who is kind of shoehorning his way into Gold Glove conversation, makes an unbelievable diving catch on a Real Muto blooper that probably would have scored a couple runs. So big there. The Mets are still in it. It's a 3-1 game. But Bailey Falter, who we've kind of had his number all year, he's settled in and put together a pretty nice start. He allowed just a hit and a walk from the 2nd to the 6th inning as the Mets bats went quiet after 2 pretty loud first 2 games. Steven Nagosic had some good relief. I'm going to try and say this guy's name. Rob Zastryzny. Hope I got that right.
Nailed
2 Z's and 2 Y's.
2 Z's and 2 Y's in one name.
I don't know
That's
if you see in the
amazing.
notes. I put the pronunciation there.
I saw that. I'm proud of you for that.
And Michael Givens came in after. They go 3 1/3 innings, 1 earned run. So the bullpen does the job again. The Mets do not score, but they put together something in the 9th. A McNeil double with 2 outs. Mark Canha walks. But they go quietly. The Mets just get 3 hits in this game. They go 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They play a little sloppy because they're tired. They lose Game 3 4-1, and now they're going into the last game looking at either a split or a series win.
Yeah, that was it was 4-1. It was 3-1, and it felt like it was 9-1.
Yeah.
There was no excitement in the game. This was the only game, and I, having been there myself,
Yeah.
all year long we haven't had a stinker like this.
Yeah.
And they just ran out of gas, it looked like. So it was a little bit worrisome, but completely understandable. I actually really liked what I saw from Peterson. Not his best outing, but he touched 97.
Yeah.
His slider was sharp. He had some inconsistencies on his changeup, but I really like what I saw. You talked about him possibly moving to the bullpen in the playoff format. I think he's going to be in the rotation for at least another turn, I imagine. Deservedly so. But I think after what I saw with the way he's been attacking people with runners in scoring position, he's been amazing. One of the best pitchers in baseball from a starting standpoint with runners in scoring position. I think that translates well to the playoffs because if he can just get into that mentality right away, which is a conversation to be had, if they sit him down and talk to him about his possible role being in the bullpen. I think he can do it, man. I was very impressed with his stuff and the way he settled in. But this was a stinker.
Yeah, and like you said before, it's hard to get on them too much about this.
No, I mean, not, yeah, it was a stinker, but, you know, you're going to have these. They just don't do it very often. So
a lot of guys played both games, too. I'm trying to find his numbers because I know Peterson, like you said, has been very... So last year, yeah, runners in scoring position, hitters were hitting .381 against Peterson. And what I mentioned in my recap was Peterson's been really good about navigating in and out of trouble even when he doesn't have his best stuff. This year, hitters are batting, if I can find it very quickly, 171 with runners in scoring position.
That's incredible.
210 points lower than last year. That is just a key change in Peterson's game. So 4 2/3, 3 runs. It's not the best outing, but last year that outing could have spiraled out of control. The game could have been over by the second inning.
That's right. So let's go to game 4.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Good luck.
I'll wait for it. Oh, I didn't have to wait. Go, Rob. Game 4. This was the debut of Jose Butto, as the 7-line called him, Joey Butts, which is great. I loved it. Congratulations to him for making his major league debut. He was stepping up against Kyle Gibson, who the Mets have kind of had his number. He's been hot and cold. But Jose Butto steps up and gets greeted pretty rough.
Yeah.
Second pitch of the game gets hit for a single, and it doesn't get better from there. It wound up with an Alec Bohm 3-run homer, and they put up a 4 spot. But guess what? These Mets have fight. They put up 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth to tie it. And in the bottom of the 4th inning, Jose Butto allows a second 3-run home run to Mr. Alec Bohm. That puts him up 7-3. It felt like that was a knockout blow. Thought we might have to bring in another guy making his debut, Mr. Nate Fisher, who was a commercial banker last year in June, steps up, makes his major league debut at 26 years old. He throws 3 shutout innings. It was a wonderful, wonderful attempt. And in that top of the 7th inning, up steps Mr. Mark Canha. He hits a massive 3-run homer. They tie it up, and in the bottom of the 8th inning, we get Trevor May to step in, and he's greeted and gives up a run. So the Phillies take a lead in the bottom of the 8th, and then in the top of the 9th, who is it? It's again Mr. Mark Canha steps up and hits a massive home run to give the Mets the lead. Gene Segura thought he had it in the 8th, has a big celebration, but Mark Canha has his signature moment as a Met, his second home run of the game. It is a huge one. The Mets take a lead. They get a much-needed insurance run from Brandon Nimmo as he greets another man named Tyler Sear, making his major league debut, plants one into the seats. The Mets take a 10-8 lead. Edwin Diaz comes in to seal the deal, sound the horns. He does not look great. He looked vulnerable for the first time in a long time. Could have been rust, but he escapes. He allows 1 run, gets a huge strikeout to end the game, a fastball inside at 100, and the Mets win 10-9 in the final game of the series. It was a long road trip, ended by a 4-hour and 20-minute game with a 45-minute rain delay mixed in. It could have been an absolute backbreaker to split this series, but instead they fight back 3 times to take the lead and win the series. The final game against the Phillies, which is way too early in the season for them to be done with Philly, but they take the game 10-9.
Well done on that recap. Maybe the most loaded recap of the entire season.
I could have talked about every player so many times. There were so many guys that stepped up. There was big moments from pretty much everyone on there. Including Vogel Snack, our guy. He had a good moment. He didn't score after he doubled, and I thought that might be a piece in the game because he should have scored, and he didn't. Ends up coming out of the game later after he singled again, but didn't cost him.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the kind of game where you can almost forget that the Mets had a rookie debut and make his start because it seems like it happened so long ago. Butto had that really rough first inning, and then he looked really good once he finally started getting that curveball to work for him a little bit. Struck out a couple batters in the second and third. Obviously ran into trouble again in the 4th. Made a bad pitch to Alec Bohm, who had a great game. There's so much here. The Mets rally against Connor Brogdon. Brogdon's having a great season, but the Mets have hit him all year long. I mean, Mark Canha, we can talk day and night about.
I wanted to touch Jose Butto a little bit.
Go for it.
So, greeted very rough
Yes.
to make his debut. Gave up a 4 spot. He was facing the 9th hitter of the inning, touching almost at 40 pitches, and then Schwarber was up again. If he doesn't get through that last guy, doesn't get that final out, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He would have had 2/3 of an inning. But instead, he guts through it, gets out of that inning, and then throws 3 more. Gutsy, had some stuff. He touched 97 as well. His changeup, which was everybody was talking about how good it was. I think I thought he had some mechanical cues. He was slowing his arm speed down. I saw a few times on his changeup, which was telling. And when you're looking for a changeup, knowing a guy throws it and he shows you a little bit that he's throwing it, it can be a damage pitch. And they took advantage. But good for him. And again, Michael Perez, I think he was the key to making the switch to go from heavy changeups, because I think they threw 11 in the first inning and then threw none in the second inning and 2 in the third inning. They went to that curveball, which wasn't nasty. But when you're only looking for a changeup and you're getting fastball, curveball, that's a tough adjustment.
Yeah, and I mean, Butto, first start above AA, I think. I don't know if he ever made it to AAA. I might be wrong on that.
I think he made it to AAA.
Had like a start or 2.
Maybe 1.
Yeah.
Never threw it to Perez.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was all right. But Nate Fisher.
What
a story.
What a fucking story Nate Fisher is.
Did you see his postgame at all?
I did. I know that he called it like a dream and stuff, and there was a little bit of talk that the bank that he worked for, when he got the minor league invite from the Mets in the offseason, they were like, if you don't go, we're going to fire you, so you have to go. And I loved that they were kind of like rooting for him to be like, just go chase the dream. Why not?
Yeah, he so likable, man. Very grateful, very honored, and happy to be there to chase his dream and see it come to fruition. He had family in town. He had a couple of his best friends that flew in. I think he's from like Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska area.
Not sure.
But he, I'm just happy to see those moments, because that's, dreams. You get to see dreams come true. What a fun industry to be in.
And you want to talk about likable? I mean, Mark Canha has his best game as a Met.
Yeah, I
in
think
the post game, all he talks
about it.
All he talks about is Nate Fisher gets the championship belt. Didn't know this guy earlier today. Now he's the hero of our team. Just always congratulating others. When he puts up a 2-homer game, both home runs are essential to the Mets getting this huge win instead of splitting. Canha has been playing more recently. I think we're kind of ditching the platoon idea with Canha, and I think he's the kind of guy that might need to play every day to be at his maximum ability, and it clearly showed in Game 4.
He said some really awesome things that were pretty indicative of this Mets season. So he talked about how his lack of power, he wasn't hitting for power very much, and it was kind of frustrating him, but at the same time, he was sticking to the game plan of grinding out at bats and how well it works in the Mets lineup. I thought that shows you that he's all in on the New York Mets, because he didn't allow his own personal expectations for what he wants to do get in the way. He hit that first home run, and he said, I felt like I was in the zone. I wanted to ride the wave to my next at-bat. So that's a great feeling as an athlete when you get into that zone.
Yeah.
He saw Segura hit that home run and celebrate, and he said, like he talked about it, he said, after I saw Segura hit that home run, I thought, he knew he was going to be coming up. He goes, this is my time. I'm going to ride that wave. I'm going to step up. And he did. It was unbelievable. You could see it in his eye, the way he was swinging the bat.
Yeah.
He said he felt like, all right, all you got to do is throw this pitch and it's over. He hit that huge home run, had an amazing bat flip, arms up in the air. He tossed it really high. Just an awesome signature moment for him. 2 huge home runs, a game-tying 3-run home run, and then a go-ahead 2-run home run. Fantastic.
We've seen a lot of good bat flips from the Mets this year. I'm thinking Escobar's walk-off against the Phillies, Lindor's against the Giants. That's the best one of the year. The best celebration. Everything about it was perfect.
It was great, man. It was awesome, and it was emotional, because he was like, you tell yourself a lot as an athlete, like, I'm going to do this. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
And a lot, it's hard to play sports, and it doesn't come through. So when it does, celebrate that, man. That's what we're talking about. just an awesome end of the road trip.
Yeah, and I mean, it did come down to a lot of manager decisions. I think the Gene Segura pinch hit was genius. He hasn't burned us yet this year until this game, really. You know, still a great hitter against us, but that home run was a moment. I still think that the spot for Trevor May was correct. 8th inning, start with the bottom of the order. Might as well use him there. Didn't go well. Rob Thompson uses David Robertson a day after a 2-inning outing. I don't know if I agreed with that because I think he had Sir Anthony Dominguez back there, and he's been great.
No, he's on the IL.
He's on the IL.
Yeah.
Okay, that changes my opinion a little
bit.
But Robinson looked a little.
He wanted to stand up. Robertson probably told him, "Hey, I'm good. Let's go." I actually don't mind it because that's what you got him for. You traded for him. It didn't work out. We got to him, but he went 2 innings through 36 pitches the day before, and then showed up. There was only, and again, this is nitpicky.
Sure.
I wouldn't have sent Budo to face the lineup for the third time.
Yeah, I think so.
So after Zimmer in his 4th inning, he gave up that another 3 spot. I think, right? Yeah, he gave up 3 runs in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
Zimmer was leading off the game or leading off the inning. He got an infield single on a little, he's fast. So he got an infield single.
Tall, fast guy.
He's huge. He's like 6'4", 6'5", and a defense speed guy. Never came into his power, but he was like a big prospect. Anyway, I wouldn't have let Budo face the top of the lineup again because Schwarber had already seen him twice. He already had success against him.
Yeah.
And it backfired. Again, this is nitpicky because Showalter's made so many right decisions. I just think this one was a little bit, left him out to dry.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But, I mean, I still commend Showalter for sticking with Budo past the first. And it does come down to him getting those last
Well, he would have
outs.
been if he didn't get Zimmer in the first inning, he was done because 40 pitches is like the magic number for pitches in an inning before you have to go out. You remember a few years ago, was it a few years ago? DeGrom had a start in Miami where he threw, I think it was like 18, where he threw like 45 pitches coming after.
I don't remember much from 18. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I wish I didn't remember it either.
Out.
I had a rough year. But I think it was that year. DeGrom was coming back and he threw like 45 pitches in 1 inning. Jeez. And he was done.
Damn.
Yeah, and they fought and scratched, and that's just the number. It's always been that like 40 pitch because that's you can't get much. You talk about high risk for injury. Those are once you start to just throw and throw.
I think it was
throw.
At Philadelphia, 1 inning, 3 walks, 45 pitches in the first inning.
That's it, and that was it. That was the one. Yeah. What year was that? 18?
18.
Yeah.
Right.
So
good memory.
Oh my gosh, my memory. Look at that. Steel trap.
And then Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz looks human for the first time in a while.
Yep.
Fully rested too. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, he was
maybe too rested.
I think that was it. I think that was too rested. But again, this isn't a bad decision by Diaz and Showalter to get him rested.
Yeah.
He threw those 2 innings, came in the 8th. He's been pitching a lot, but he had to throw today or yesterday. He had to throw in that game. I like that they gave him a few days, but he wasn't sharp, and that happens. This is part of the strategy of playing, for the postseason. You have to get your guys rest up, but he won't have. I don't think he'll have another long stretch off like that again because he
pitched 2 innings on this road trip.
Yeah,
that's it.
And so I think he was missing pitches everywhere.
Yeah,
arm side, spiking them, but he made pitches when he needed to. That's the difference in Diaz this year. He's making adjustments when he needs it. They jumped on his first pitch. They were just like, look, I'm going to swing. He's trying to get ahead.
Good game plan, honestly.
Yeah, it was a great game plan. They're like, well, he's going to try to get ahead, and we can't fall behind this guy.
Yeah.
So they're like, I'm going to swing no matter what. And they got to him a little bit. Yeah. So,
and I think it really highlights Thompson's decision to use the rookie first game ever against Nimmo in that 9th inning to just try and get the outs, and Nimmo homers, and that becomes the game-winning run there.
I don't think he had any other choice.
Did he? I mean, I'm trying to.
He was running pretty thin back there.
They got 6 from Falter in the 3rd game, which I think was pretty huge for them.
Yeah, Falter. In the 3rd game, wait, I didn't mention it, but when the Mets only scored 1 run off of that
first
debacle of a first inning, I was like, nah, we needed more.
I think the game's
because then
over.
He went into cruise mode. That's what happens. You get a guy on the ropes, and you step back and let him get his legs back underneath him.
Yeah.
and he's going to last a little bit. So
Yeah, and I mean, the Mets kind of struggled against lefties this whole series. They hit a couple foul ball home runs off Brad Hand.
oh my God, there was so many foul ball home runs.
Ruff is having a tough time, dude. I've seen Ruff hit like 5 foul ball home runs. Yeah, I mean, back there they had Sam Coonrod they could have used.
He pitched the day before.
He did.
And the first game, I think.
So I think that was pretty much the only other option there.
You're right. Coonrod was warming up with Robertson,
yeah, so
which
Coonrod
was weird.
could have pitched, I think.
I don't know when Coonrod would have pitched if they were tied, but then he didn't come in. Strange.
I don't know. But Thompson uses the rookie, Nimmo hits the home run, and that's the game-winning run, and that changes the entire complexion
They
of
went
this
3 out
Mets
of 4,
road.
man. Dominated Phillies
14
this year.
14-5 against the Phillies this year.
9-0 against Nola and Wheeler.
Remember the last time they went 14-5 against the Phillies?
Yeah, of course I do. Why don't you tell me about it? I'll let you know if that's the right one.
It was 2015.
Yeah, I told you.
Kind of seems like a big year.
You did let me say that.
Sorry, man.
It was a big year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they go 9-0 against Nola and Wheeler. They have maybe their most fun wins of the year against the Phillies, which is always nice. The Kono, as we coined, 7-run comeback in the 9th, this series finale. Fans showed up in droves. I don't know did you see the clip of Canha's home run from facing the crowd that way?
Where the whole
crowd is Mets fans. It's
I saw
crazy.
it. I think KFC from Barstool tweeted it, and I saw it on Twitter.
Chills.
I can't believe that the Phillies fans, when they're in the midst of a playoff push,
They're like 10 games over 500.
yeah,
It's
I don't
wild.
know.
You got to fill the stadium.
I won't
guys.
say anything negative about Phillies fans.
And
I know better.
They had a 7-line Army member throw out the first pitch.
I saw
of the
that.
game. You
He
can't
threw it.
do that. You can't do that.
I don't know how it happened.
Come on.
How about the Fanatic? The first of all, the Phillies broadcast went all in on Keith Hernandez for taking it off, and it deservedly. You
I
say
guess,
you
but
say
then
you
it gets
don't want to
thrown
watch
in your
him.
face, you know.
Yeah, it's true. He was the Fanatic came into the booth. It was pretty funny, man. I liked it. They embraced it.
He comes in there a lot too.
Yeah,
It's
the
always a good
Fanatic
time.
is the best.
All right, we've babbled. I think we should
Let's do it.
do an apple
Apple
of our. Rob's crushing.
He's on it, dude.
On just short.
I'm so
notice.
impressed.
Killing it. So good. You want first ups?
I do.
You're the
So,
guest.
shout out to Nate Fisher. Congratulations to you, man. 3 innings pitched, no runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, a big strikeout.
Yeah.
Your debut at 26. What a story. That's amazing. I wanted to shout out Michael Perez again.
We love Michael Perez.
I am a big fan. Yeah. Like I'm curious to. I'm sure the Mets see the same thing. He's gritty behind the plate. He's smart. He handled Diaz very well. Diaz came in shaky. He said, "I got you." He never looked. He
was at a game plan, I think.
Yeah, he was like,
did his
all right.
homework.
He did it. Not just he did his homework, but he's smart in game. He's watching the game. He's in the moment. And Buck Showalter, who's a man of the moment, doesn't ever let things get ahead of him. Always thinking ahead. He sees this out of Michael Perez too. I think I was very impressed. He handled it very well. Also got his first hit, a big, basically game winner.
Yeah.
Against Zach Wheeler. He went 2 for 10, had those 3 RBI, 2 big walks. His swing looks good. I'm impressed. I like this guy. But I want to shout out one more guy, Francisco Lindor.
Again.
He is unbelievably hot, just consistent. I think he's, I don't know, one of the hottest players.
It's always the runs scored for me. It's
7
like
for 20, 4
5.
runs scored, a huge triple, scoring an RBI triple. He had a big stolen base. The Mets double steal when a first and third, and the Phillies try it and get thrown out.
Phillies try and get the game out.
They tried to do things that the Mets did, and it never worked out in their favor. But shout out to Francisco Lindor, who was amazing. But the apple of my eye goes to Mr. Mark Canha.
Natural.
I loved it. Mark Canha, we talked about his playing time kind of going away a little bit, but this was an announcement. He came in and made a statement. Says, I am a big-time player on a big-time team. He went 4 for 10, 2 runs, the 2 home runs, 5 RBI, and a walk. The 2 home runs were mega huge, in huge moment. in a boom.
Love
That is
that.
it.
Thanks,
I mean,
Rob.
look at that. That's in Philadelphia, a known haven for the home team.
It's so much blue. There's
It's
so much blue in that crowd. It's crazy.
And it was a moment where he hit the first home run, the big 3-run home run, and I was like, man, that's awesome to tie it. Brings the Mets back within a chance. And then his spot came up again. His number got called, and he stepped up and delivered again. That was fantastic. So he is the apple of my eye.
Much deserved for Canha. Career high 5 RBI game. He's batting .440 with 9 extra base hits in his last 8 games. He's hot.
That's pretty good.
Got to play him every day.
That's
He's
pretty
hot.
good.
No more platoon nonsense for my guy out of the park, Mark. So many good performances in this series. He's not going to get my apple, but Starling Marte stuffed the stat sheet. There's so much shit here. 8 for 17, 4 runs, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, a stolen base, a hit by pitch. On base all the time. Nimmo bounced back.
He did get thrown out.
He did get thrown out. You know, he gets thrown out once the series, though.
Real Muto's got a cannon, but
yeah, back there. Nimmo draws 4 walks and gets hit by a pitch. Love
big
that.
Home run.
Also goes 4 for 15, hits a home run, 2 doubles, 3 runs, 2 RBI. Nimmo looked
4
great.
big walks.
4 big walks.
I liked his approach. This was more vintage Nimmo. I liked what I saw.
9-pitch walk, and I think the last game
battled.
Like that a lot. Before I tell you my apple, it is brought to you by CSG Cards.
Sneak that in there.
Gotta. CSG is an expert in impartial third-party authentication and grading service for sports cards. After grading, sports cards are encapsulated in archival, durable, and crystal clear CSG holders that protect and preserve. You can get a card of my Apple player once I tell you, but wait on it, guys, all right? Every certified sports card is backed by the CSG guarantee of authenticity and grade, which is the strongest in the industry. Take my word for it, take Jerry's word for it, take Rob's word for it. Collectors know they can buy and sell with peace of mind when a card is in a CSG holder because its authenticity and condition are guaranteed. And we have a promo code for their website, csgcards.com. It is Shea, like Shea Station. Get $15 off yearly memberships with promo code Shea at csgcards.com. The offer expires at the end of September, so pounce on it, guys. It's running low. Thank you to the CSG for sponsoring today's Apple of our Eye. And my apple goes to the guy that I gave it to last time, Jeff McNeil. I have been raving about Jeff McNeil because every at-bat, every play that he makes looks MVP caliber. He's just having an absolutely torrid month of August. It continued in this series. He goes 8 for 18, 444 clip, 2 runs, 3 doubles, 3 RBI, and a walk. He's now 4th in MLB with a .321 batting average. He is batting .425 in August with a 1.104 OPS. He has been undoubtedly the cog of this Mets lineup that continues to function even when the team doesn't function. I keep thinking to that absolute blowout in Game 1 against Atlanta where he goes 4 for 4, gets an RBI, scores a run. Jeff McNeil continues to do it. He made a ton of highlight reel plays, the diving catch on Real Muto's liner. He snagged a couple ground balls. It's all becoming very normal for Jeff McNeil, which is very cool. I think that he is in Gold Glove contention. He might not get it because he's kind of a utility guy, but he's now 96th percentile on outs above average. He's doing everything. He just looks like, I don't even remember what 2021 Jeff McNeil looked like. I have no memory of it because he looks like a completely different ball player. He is the apple of my eye.
Yeah, well deserved. I think we covered it both because Canha had to be one.
Yeah.
And then Jeff McNeil was the other must.
Just gotta.
You covered the offense. He's a pest, man. I think most of the ire coming out of Zach Wheeler, he's seething, and I think it's because of Jeff McNeil. I truly do. Because it would be for me. That's the kind of guy that would grind you. He is all the other Mets in the lineup will battle. He grinds you down because he's got that little smirk and he hits the ball off the handle or off the cap and he gets a hit and he's just over there smiling. And
you were totally spot on last episode. A bunch of times I saw his hands.
Yeah, he splits it. I think his wrist is hurting a little bit and that helps you to
So he's not even
100%.
He's doing all
this.
Yeah,
but I don't even, is he milking it? I don't know. Whatever the case may be, he's up there being a flying squirrel. He made an absolutely defense. He made an unbelievable diving catch from second base, sliding, bases loaded, incredible. And that was in the game where we lost 4-1, but it felt like it was 40-1.
Yeah,
and it was a big moment. It saved, I think it was Fisher that was pitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a huge spot. No, Nagosic came in for
Is this
Fisher.
game 3?
I don't remember.
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, made this Nagosic. Yeah, look at Rob.
Give it to
Oh my
Rob.
God, there.
Yeah.
yeah, Nagosic, who looks like Gallagher, the comedian.
Rob and
from,
Nagosic have similar mustaches.
Nobody can touch Rob's
No,
mustache.
nobody can touch it.
Nagosic
It's got
has
the
a
length
good
on the
one.
sides now,
Yeah,
too.
he's got
Looks really
he's
good.
got the width of it.
Yeah.
I think Nagosic, for our younger fans, might not know it, but Gallagher, do you remember the comedian that smashes fruit?
Oh,
Like a big
wait.
watermelon. I think Nagosic looks just like Gallagher, the comedian.
I got to do side by side.
Go for it.
The mustaches are really similar.
Oh, they're the same.
Oh my God, they're so similar.
But he made even there was a double play that Lindor backhanded
Yeah.
and threw it, and McNeil turned it. It ended up getting overturned, but he's throwing the ball, he's catching the ball. I think his versatility playing outfield has really helped him become a good second baseman for those little bloops.
Yep.
Because he just gets great jumps on him. Those are some difficult ones because if it's off the end of the bat, he takes a big swing and it doesn't quite have the carry that you think.
Yeah.
I really believe that you mentioned it a couple of times. I think he is a Gold Glove winning second baseman. He started out playing a lot of left field, but I'm sure the numbers at the end of the season, he's going to have enough games at second base to warrant it.
I think so.
I think he deserves a Gold Glove, which is amazing to say considering, he wasn't a bad defensive second baseman, but he made a lot of mental errors, even pointing to last year. But this year, he is a difference maker defensively on a team that's very defensive, has a lot of defensive prowess in a lot of spaces. He stands out.
And I mean, we talked about Nimmo's improvement in center field. We talked about having Marte's Cannon in right. Lindor elevates everybody. You have maybe the best middle infield defense in the National League with these two. I mean, Lindor is Platinum Glove capable, and Jeff McNeil has stepped it up to such a degree this year that, they just make every play. It's really enjoyable to watch. I mean, we've been raving about Guillorme all year, but McNeil's been just as good.
It's pretty incredible to have Lindor be your middle, companion, and for you to also, stand toe to toe. Lindor's on another level,
Of course.
but McNeil's done some great things. I was trying to think of off the top of my head when Ozzy's out there. Dansby with the Braves, Dansby and Ozzy are fantastic. They both have incredible range, great arms.
It's Trey and who else for LA? Trey Turner and
I think it's
Gavin Lux.
Muncy and Lux.
Yeah. I'd still take our guys.
Yeah, they've got some growing.
I'd take our guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And Jeff McNeil also, I think, got on both times ahead of Canha's home runs.
Okay, so
Playing
there you
small
go.
parts.
Table setter.
Table setter. Man, that was a fun series, man.
Was it? It was so long.
And it almost doesn't even feel like the Subway Series is starting tonight.
And it's weird, though. Here's the thing. We were talking about it after the postgame last night.
Yeah.
We're facing the New York Yankees going to Yankee Stadium, and I feel like the teams couldn't be going in opposite directions.
It's definitely... I mean, they got a big win yesterday, but it's still been tough.
This will be a Subway Series for sure. This is going to be high energy. It's supposed to rain today. Maybe a doubleheader tomorrow. Who knows? But the Yankees are in desperation mode.
Yes.
Desperation.
I do not think they want to play the Mets.
So
right
they
now.
have to kind of make some statements here. Whereas if the Mets lose both, which I don't think they're going to do, we'll show the previews of who they're matching up against.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the end of the world. But I think if the Yankees lose both, soundly, I think you're going to see the sky is falling on Yankees Twitter even more than it has been.
I mean, their AL East lead got as low as 7 games, which I did not even think was possible because of where they were before August started.
Vulnerable.
I don't understand it.
So I'm going to pull up some of the things, but they've hit a huge offensive slump, and their bullpen fell apart, and that makes your starting rotation feel like they have to be perfect, and that is not a recipe for success when you're a starter.
And we are once again getting not the top of their rotation because Nestor just pitched. Cole went the day before, so we're getting the bottom once again.
Yeah, so we're faced. I'll do our previews, and then I want to talk a little Yankees.
Can I say something before you do?
Absolutely.
Well, if you're looking to get some law firm help, potentially.
You're sneaking these in on me.
I
haven't finished my coffee yet, and you've got me 3 times.
I finished my iced coffee before the show. Rob, thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Hey, everyone, claps
Shout
for
out
Rob.
to Rob.
Claps for Rob.
Love you guys.
Did a great job. We'll wrap up soon,
Handsome
Rob.
Rob.
Love you. Today's series preview for the Mets and Yankees is brought to you by Siegel Law Firm. And that's
Siegel
obvious.
Legal.
Siegel Legal, baby. New York City-based personal injury and civil rights law firm. What separates them? You know. They care about their clients, Jerry, just like we care about the Mets. It's the same type of care. They hire the right experts, me and Jerry, experts on the Mets, obviously, and they put every case in the best chance to succeed. They treat clients like family and have incredible client satisfaction as a result. A lot of firms say this. They actually do it. Rob is back, and he's gone. Again, guys, there's a misconception that you cannot afford a lawyer. It is not true. There was a misconception that we wouldn't have a producer today. It wasn't true. Rob stepped up. Love that. There's no cost to consult with Siegel Law Firm and no out-of-pocket costs when they handle your case. You don't pay a dime until they recover for you, and then they share a percentage of that recovery. There is nothing to lose. Don't disqualify yourself from a case for no reason. It's always worth a call to Siegel Law Firm. And that number to call is 646-810-3337, or visit them at siegel-lawfirm.com to get the support that you need. Siegel-lawfirm.com, 646-810-3337. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's series preview. Jerry, take it away.
It is the finale of the Subway Series. The first two were in Queens. These two are going up to the Bronx. Game 1, Max Scherzer. You guys have heard of him. He's pretty good. He's 9-2 with a 2.15 ERA. He is battling against Domingo Germán. He's 1-2 with a 4.45. DJ LeMahieu, who hits everybody, is 5 for 12 against Scherzer in his career. Mark Canha, 6 for 11 with a homer off of Germán. Pete Alonso, 2 for 5 with a homer. That's off Germán as well. Scherzer versus the Yankees. He was on the 27th. Went 7 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and a 3-2 victory. He was the second pitcher this year to strike out Judge 3 times in a game. It was pure dominance. It was big moments. Judge, who was the hottest hitter and still is probably the best hitter in baseball right now, was overmatched. And Germán versus the Mets on that same day. This is a rematch. He went 4 2/3, gave up 2 earned runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and 1 home run. Game 2, Mr. Jacob deGrom, who's 2-1 with a 2.31 ERA. He'll be going up against Frankie Montas. He's 4-10 with a 3.87. Frankie Montas has since becoming a Yankee. He's got 3 games started. He's given up 14 earned runs, 18 hits, 6 walks, 8 Ks, and 2 home runs, and 14 innings pitched.
Yeesh.
It has been, and I love Frankie, it has not been pretty for him in pinstripes. But deGrom lost his first game of the year, lost his first game, and against his last start versus ATL. He went 6 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits, no walks, 9 Ks. He looked human for a minute, and the Braves capitalized. He's versus the Yankees in his career. He's 2-4 with a 3.51.
Remarkably human.
Very human. Is he human? 41 innings pitched. He's got a 3.51 ERA, a 1.1 WHIP, 40 strikeouts to 11 walks. I think he pitched. I think he made his. Did he make his debut against? He's pitched very front loaded in his career, and he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Lindor, though, against Frankie Montas in his career, they played in the AL together. He's 4 for 9. Marte 3 for 5 against Montas. He is looking to have his first positive moment as a Yankee, and deGrom is looking to not allow that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, great recap as always.
Thank you,
great preview. For a Yankees team that finally got some life offensively in that series finale against the Jays where they salvaged the win, having to face Scherzer and deGrom back-to-back is an absolute gut punch. So it's either going to be one of these things where they regress or maybe they play above expectation against these guys. But if they get rained out today, you got to play 18 innings tomorrow, and the majority of them are going to be against 2 guys with about 5 Cy Youngs combined between them.
Yeah, and the Yankees in the month of August are 5-14.
Wow. I didn't know it was that.
5-4. I think they're the worst team in baseball in August.
Come on, really?
I'm pretty sure that's the case. 5-14 though, so even if you're not, you feel like it.
That's right. I knew it was bad. I didn't realize because I try and pay attention to the Yankees.
Yeah,
too.
I mean you can't
Yankees
help it
company.
being in the JM office.
That's brutal.
Yeah, everybody's slumping. They starting pitching hasn't been good, and their bullpen has fallen apart. They lost Michael King earlier to a broken elbow, I believe. It was fracture. Clay Holmes went on the IL. I'm not sure with what. He's saying stiff back or something, but I think it was more of a mental break to kind of lock it back in because he lost his ability to throw strikes. But yeah, man, it's a tough look. They're gonna need to put it together right now because they are lost. They lost Carpenter with a broken foot.
Yeah. Only one other team has gone 5-14. Miami Marlins.
The Marlins and the Yankees are the two worst teams in baseball.
This month. Second best team in baseball this month. New York Mets, 15-7.
Who's the first?
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
16-3.
We'll be facing them soon.
They just keep fucking winning.
Yeah, man.
So annoying. Yeah, I mean, you take a look at these offensive stats too, and they are paltry for a team that lives and dies off the home run ball. And I think that it's just like I become more and more thankful that the Mets have the philosophy of contact first, put the ball in play. The Yankees team is batting .216 with a .289 on base in the month of August. So it's just
give me that again.
.216 batting average, .289 on base. They're striking out at a 25% clip.
That's not good as a team. They might get Stanton back. He's rehabbing.
Yeah,
he's on a rehab assignment. They'll have Judge. What's Rizzo's deal?
Rizzo's been slumping in August. Judge is in his last 8 games.
Judge has been slumping.
Batting under 200.
Yep. So yeah, man, they're not playing up to their potential.
I feel kind of bad.
I don't feel bad.
I know, but still, I feel like you're harping on him.
Well,
gotta.
I mean, if we're giving them a hard time, imagine what Yankees fans are doing.
I haven't listened to Talking Yanks in a little bit. I'm sure it's not going well over there.
Yeah, but this is a Mets pod, and the Mets are. They split on the road. You want to win at home and split on the road, and they did that against the two other teams that are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah,
2 wildcard teams.
I mean that is maybe the most eventful 4-4 road trip I've ever seen from this Mets team, and I mean. You're coming off a meteoric win that lifted the entire roster. That was, looking pretty low energy and dead going into that game 4, and then just woke up.
It could have been terrible. The night getaway game, with the doubleheader after the game or on the second day, and then the huge rain delay and a long ass game in game 4. But they took 3 out of 4, man. It was awesome.
Oh, by the way, the Braves beat the Astros twice in their 3-game set. You could easily be looking at a 3-game lead. Now you're looking at a 4-game lead.
Your tweet of, I'm imagining that's probably that? 2012.
I Googled 2012.
It was 2012.
One of the 100 lost teams.
Astros. That was
ugly.
great.
I hated those uniforms so much, man.
They were terrible.
They were pretty bad.
Yeah, so this will be fun, man. It's the Subway Series. Wear your Mets gear around the city.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, you're going to be at Yankee Stadium?
I never feel good hoping for a rain out. But if I get to see Scherzer DeGrom doubleheader, they get a day of rest.
I still feel like they might push DeGrom back because
of Taiwan.
I don't know why, but I feel like they're
is.
going to give DeGrom a second, an extra day.
I don't know. They have to be very delicate. If they have a game plan, they have to stick to it. I heard something about he throws a bullpen like a day before.
He throws 2 bullpens.
So I think if he's done that, you kind of have to start him.
No, it's a light bullpen.
All right. You know better than I would.
I mean, no big deal.
Not a big deal. I had 1 year in the bigs. You had like 12. So it's just not really fair.
But we are done.
Yeah, we're done.
That's it.
11:30 on the dot. Look at us. Baseball Today's got to get in there. Whoops.
All right. For Jolly, I'm Jerry, live in the office. This is Shea Station, and thank you for tuning in, and let's go Mets.
We will see you guys Wednesday for the next up.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Go watch Jerry on pre and post on us.
Yeah, tune in. It's fun.
He's going to wear a suit.
I think Todd's back. Terry TC is great to
Terry
have
stopped
in.
Yeah,
I think
Terry and Gary, right?
Me, Terry, Gary. Jerry, Terry, Gary.
I like that. Someone should
Imagine
tweet
somebody
that.
with your earpiece, and they're like, all right, Jerry, you've got to say this. We're like, I'm sorry, who are you talking to? Yeah, it's tough. But it was fun, man. And But thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys. See you soon. Let's go.
Be
Mets.
out.